what's going on, guys? My name's Connor, and today I have a review for you guys on the Rolex Explorer 2. This is a 216570. I'm going to be going over all the details of this watch, as well as if I think it's a watch that you should go for. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so just like any of my other videos, I always like to start off by telling you guys the retail cost of these watches. So the retail cost on this watch was actually $8,350, okay? But before you think to yourself like, okay, whenever I want, I can just go down to my local authorized dealer or an actual Rolex store and buy this watch for $8,350, you have to take into consideration that there is a long waiting list on any watch similar to this, like the Explorer 1 or any sports model or any Submariner. There is an extremely long waiting list on this watch. I mean, I see it going for about a year right now. Last time I contacted the AD, they said it would be about a year for a watch similar to this. But I've heard about people that have waited for a year and they ended up falling off the list for one reason or another. So realize that when you're thinking about how difficult it is to get this watch. They're not easy to come by unless you're paying a premium. But with the right shopping and knowing who to trust and maybe looking on like OfferUp or any other place like that, you'll be able to get a good price. But just so you guys know, I suggest that you guys always meet at an authorized dealer if you're buying off someone that you don't know and that you cannot trust 100%, just for the safety of the authenticity of the watch. All right, so opening it up, you guys can see that this box looks to be a large or an extra large. For those of you guys who don't know, Rolex has 4 sizes of box. They have a small, medium, large, and extra large. Okay, this looks to be a large or an extra large, but I'm just gonna slide off the top of the outer box and open it up. And if you guys are buying a watch brand new, it's going to have this little thing of plastic right here, just protecting the crown and the upper part of the box. But obviously this is not brand new, so it's not gonna have that. You guys can see right here, it's just gonna say Rolex. And yeah, let's get right into it. So right here you can see the golden crown. That's the main part that they like to protect when they put this layer of plastic along the top and the frontal part. But you guys can see, very clean. This box was obviously very taken care of. And then you can see right here. And then yeah, let's open it up. So this is the actual Explorer 2 watch, okay? And so your first impression of this, if you're a watch guy, you're probably thinking to yourself like, okay, this looks really similar to an Explorer 1. It's like an Explorer 1 and a Submariner had a baby. That's honestly what it looks like, and that was my first impression when I saw this watch. But like I always like to do in my videos, I like to show you guys what the full set comes with. So as you can see, if you guys don't know what a full set is, that means it comes with the box and all the documentation, and as well as the card of the watch. Okay, that's what you always want to do when you're buying a watch like this, because it'll keep the value longer in the watch. And if you're buying from someone and they have all this information, chances are it is an authentic watch. Okay, but always make sure you match the serial to the watch. You'll be able to see on the inside of the face, which I'm not going to show you because I don't want anyone to steal the serial and sell you guys like a fake watch. But you guys will be able to see on the inner part of the face, along the sides, the serial number will be there, and it will have to match the serial of the actual card. So I'm not going to show you guys that because, like I said, the serial number can be stolen and put onto a fake watch, and then you guys will think that you're getting the real deal when you're not. So I'm just protecting you guys from that. But as you can see, 216570, this is the card, and this is actually a 2016 watch. I'll show you that right there. This is a 2016. And then yeah, so you'll get this little case right here that you'll keep your card in, as well as the actual service, or you can put the warranty in there. But you guys can see I have the service part right here, a little service manual. And then right here I have the actual Explorer 2 booklet. So this will go over every single detail of the watch, even more than I'm going to share with you guys today. I'm going to try to tell you guys as much as I can about the watch. But for those of you guys who just want to take like a quick picture of this book or something, I'll just go through it super quickly. Just feel free to pause and just read it if you want. But I'm not sure who would, I don't know if too many of you guys are interested in that, but just in case. And then yeah, let's get into the actual watch. So I'm just going to take it out right here. And below it is where I like to store my extra links. For those of you guys who don't know, these are worth a lot of money. These are worth about $200 each. So if you buy a watch and you're considering, hey, should I sell my extra links? Make sure you're selling them for about at least $150. If you're selling them for below $150, you might as well just keep them in. Yeah, you should not sell for below $150. I usually sell mine for about $200. And then you can just see the Geneva part, when you buy it brand new, this will be around the bracelet as well as the serial tag and everything else. So now, let me just show you guys the watch. So like I said, it really does look like the Explorer 1 and the Submariner had a baby. But yeah, you guys can see this is really good condition. Right here, it's not scratched up, it's just a little bit dirty because I just touched it. But it's very minty condition, as you guys can see. And so yeah, let me just go over the different details of this watch. So as you guys can see right here, it has a bezel similar to like a GMT or a Submariner, but it looks rotational, and I didn't even know until I got it, but you cannot rotate this part of the bezel. I was actually surprised when I tried to and I wasn't able to. You're not able to rotate it, which is kind of interesting. And it also has a 24-hour display right here. So most watches will only have like a 12-hour display, and it doesn't have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like a Submariner. It's more like a GMT, but it's not. Okay, and then you can see I got the black dial. There is a white one as well, but obviously this is the black one. I prefer this one, and I believe that this one's worth more than the white one. I could be wrong, but I believe so. And as you guys can tell, it's an Oystersteel watch. So you guys can see the case is Oystersteel, as well as the bracelet, as well as the actual clamp itself. It's all Oystersteel. It's all pretty scratch resistant, especially compared to like a GMT bracelet, where this part in the middle is very easily scratched. This one's not as easily scratched, but if you hit it hard enough, it's definitely gonna get pretty nicked up, especially on the bracelet, even more than probably the bezel. But you guys can see that there's a Cyclops lens on this, which essentially means that, if you guys aren't familiar with Rolexes, it just looks like a Cyclops, like one eye where you can see the date, and it's also magnified. So if you're getting a watch and you notice that it's not magnified, it's a fake Rolex. Usually fakes are better than that, and it will be magnified, but that's just a dead giveaway if you see it. The movement is a 3187, and obviously the bezel right here, the case sizing, is a 42 millimeter. And that is including the bezel. That's not just the face, that's including the bezel. This is 42 millimeters, okay? And then the crown is a screw down, as you can see. And so it'll come up once, and you'll be able to you'll be able to wind up the watch. You pull it up again, and you're able to change the hours of the watch. But it's really interesting because when you switch it, it goes from like 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't go like in between. Like let me give you guys like a quick look at it. So I'm just gonna mess with the time right now just so you guys can see. But I'm just pulling this out, pull it out once, and you guys can see it just jumps from hour to hour. It doesn't jump it's not like a smooth movement. It's just hour to hour, which I find really interesting, and I actually think that's really cool. But it doesn't just go to the 1, 2, 3, 4. Whichever minute you have the minute hand at, it'll actually jump to that minute. So you guys can see that it just it's just past the 12, so it's going to be pretty close to the actual number. But if it was at 30, it would be right in between the numbers, which is really fascinating. And this is the only watch that I've seen that does that. Okay, and like I said, it's a screw down, and if you pull it up again, it will change the minute, but I don't want to mess with that right now. And just a quick tip, if you guys are swimming with your watch, because you guys know that this is a water resistant watch, make sure that the crown is screwed down as much as possible. Whether or not you're still able to wind it and it looks like it's past that, water can still seep in if it's not tight enough. So I really suggest that you guys always make sure that it is tightened and screwed in as much as possible. All right, and then it is the crystal on this watch on the face is a sapphire crystal, which is very scratch resistant. It's actually really strong. Okay, but if you hit it hard enough, it will scratch just like any other crystal that you'll find pretty much. But if you just like scrape it along something, it's not as fragile as the bracelet itself, to scratches at least. Okay, and like I said, this is a waterproof watch, and it is waterproof up to 100 meters or 330 feet. So if you're swimming in the pool, no problem. If you're washing your hands, don't worry about getting it wet. But if you're going underwater, like let's say that you're actually like a diver or something, I would be pretty careful with this watch, because when you go past 330 feet, you are risking the watch getting pretty messed up, because it's not meant to go deeper. If you guys are looking for a diver watch, I suggest going with a Submariner or a Sea Dweller. but most of you guys will know that because the Submariners are actually 3 times more water resistant than these, meaning that they can go 3 times as deep. They go up to 1,000 feet. Okay, and then the precision of this watch is plus 2 seconds or minus 2 seconds per day. And you guys know that this is a 48-hour power reserve, just like most other Rolexes. And the display is actually known as a chromolite display, and it has the lume on the numbers, or where the numbers would be. This part is lumed, as well as this hand right here, and the actual tip of this hand. So the end of the arrow, which you guys can see is kind of like a lumish color, is actually lume as well. So if it's in the dark and you guys are looking at your watch, you guys will have no problem at all seeing this, and the lume is meant to work for a long time. Even some of the really vintage Submariners or other watches that are lumed still work to this day, and you'll have no problem being able to see it in the dark. And for those of you guys who have never owned a lumed Rolex before, it's not like a bright shine. Like, it's so subtle that someone next to you, if it was lumed, unless they were looking directly at your watch and looking for the lume itself, they probably wouldn't be able to see it. It's not bright at all. It's just perfectly lit up to the point where you can read the time, and I noticed that. But I really like this watch. I really actually do, and that's pretty much all the details I'm going to share with you guys, because that's all that you guys probably really care to know. But my pros and cons that I've came up with for this watch is, one, it is a very good everyday watch. It is a very good everyday watch. With the silver, you're pretty much able to wear it with anything else. I mean, you can dress it up, you can dress it down. Like right now, I'm sure it would look good on me, but I do want you guys to know, like, I did not size this watch yet. I actually just had it come in, and I have not sized it yet, so it's gonna look a little bit funky on my wrist, but I'll just give you guys a quick look. Oh yeah, and like I said, the Oyster clasp, so you're gonna be able to put it down like this and then actually clip it again. So if you break one, it'll still work. But yeah, you guys can see right here, it does look a little bit funky. My wrist isn't the biggest, but if I hold it right here, it's fine. And it does look nice. I really like this watch. Would I pick this over a Submariner? No, I would not. Would I pick this over the Explorer 1? It's actually pretty close. That's more like personal preference, because the Explorer 1, it doesn't have the orange arrow right there, which I think is kind of exotic. And it doesn't have the same bezel as this one. So I guess I would probably choose this one just because I like the bezel and I like the bigger face on it. I mean, the bigger case on it. But other than that, both of them are amazing watches, and both of them are pretty comparable. But what you're really paying for between this one and the Explorer 1 is you're paying a little bit extra. It's not too much more expensive, maybe a few hundred or so. But you're paying for the bezel itself, all the numbers, the 24-hour display, as well as the orange arrow. Those are like the two biggest differences, and obviously the Explorer is in orange, and you can get the white one as well. I believe the Explorer 1 and the Explorer 2 both have a white and black. I know my Explorer 1 was a black, but it might have a white, and I'm not 100% sure. But let me know what you guys think of this watch. Let me know how it compares to maybe a Submariner or the Explorer 1 itself, because I really like this watch, but I would not take this watch over a Submariner. But then again, like, if you guys like this watch, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And one of the things that I really like about it is a little bit more subtle compared to the Submariner. The Submariner is pretty loud, but it's like perfectly in between the two. Like, the Explorer 1 is very subtle, this is subtle, and the Submariner is loud. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down leave me a comment just telling me like what you guys think of this watch and how it compares to other Rolexes, and if you guys think it's a good entry-level watch, because at the end of the day, $8,000 is still considered very entry-level for different people. So a lot of the people that are probably watching this video or considering getting this watch, it's one of their first Rolexes, and this is one that they're going to wear as an everyday until they get their next one. So let me know what you guys think. I really love this watch, but I would not take this watch over the Submariner, as I said. But yeah, I'll say it again, I do really like this watch. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. Let me know any other watches that you guys want to see me do a review on. I upload every single week, and I've been bringing you guys a lot of Rolexes because you guys seem to like the videos. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.